Phil, I don't think you should be able to wear headsets around here. I mean, you got.
I don't know about headsets.
I mean,
you can't turn mic out that easy.
I mean, we're all having fun here. I mean, even Ivey's
I'm not allowed to wear a headset. I'm out to see.
Well, Phil Ivey's definitely come to play, and he's got the chips to do it.
Well, Chris has finally found a hand.
Well, this is what Chris
He's been quiet
does.
for a while. Exactly. He just sits there, patient, waits, finds a hand, and you can be pretty sure it's a raised pot by the time he does.
I mean, you talk about textbook poker. He doesn't play many hands. The ones he plays them hard. He plays them fast.
12,000 is his bet. And Patrick Antonius keeps finding these half hands, but he's usually behind a raise and a re-raise when he does.
Well, King Jack offsuit, hardly even a half hand when Ferguson is re-raised, though, is it?
Exactly.
You're likely up against, you're definitely dominated in that spot usually. No, I think Antonius is an easy fold, obviously, because his hand is easily dominated. But can Ivey call this for 8,000 more?
I think he possibly can. He's got the button, he's got live cards, and he's got an awful lot of money in front of him, and so's Chris.
I mean, he knows Ferguson's probably not going to bet unless he hits.
And he has called.
Pot is $32,500, and we haven't even seen a flop yet.
Kind of like Phil said to David yesterday. Do you like winning and losing $8 million? Do you enjoy it?
Well, there's nothing there for Chris. There's a 7 for Phil. 32,500 in the middle.
Now this will be interesting to see how Chris plays this. Chris chooses Ferguson. What we've seen so far from him is this would be normally a check play from him. And pretty much give the pot away to Ivey.
I think he's going to do a single continuation, but
Chris Ferguson always mixing up his game. One of the reasons why he has 5 World Series of Poker bracelets and, of course, the 2000 World Championship. $25,000 bet. And what do you do if you're Ivey?
I think he's going to make one call. He's got position. I think the bet's actually 22,000 with the call from Phil. Let's see what the turn brings.
Jack.
A jack, that's 3 spades out there, but neither player with a spade, but really think this might slow Chris down.
Well, the pot is $76,000. When he bets 22,000, gets called by Ivey. He's got to put Ivey on something, whether it's a pair or a spade draw. And he's got to know he's behind now, doesn't he?
Exactly. The question is whether Phil can actually protect his hand now. He gives a free card. There's 10s, kings, and aces that can put Chris in front.
And of course, he doesn't know that a spade is safe.
Well, I think he can be pretty sure if Chris Ferguson had the ace of spades or king of spades in his hand, he might have had another bullet at this one.
Well, that's a big bet. There's 2 black chips in there. Those are 25,000 each.
I think this pot's over.
I imagine it is. About a $58,000 pot. $58,000 bet, sorry, with a $132,000 pot. And Chris really put into a tough spot here, out of position with ace-king. I think you're right. I don't think he can call this.
Just going to double check. He's got no spade in his hand, and then he throws it away.
7-4.
I don't get involved in those.
7-4 is good.
6-4.
Theatrics.
Yeah. 6-4 with 2 hearts.
I just play the game. Okay.
I say we should say anybody who bluffs a pot that has more than 50,000 of it, everybody has to throw
you
them
guys think I was
18,000.
bluffing there. Okay.
We can play the 7 dudes.
How much did you win in flips? 500 or 400? 400. How much did I win in flips that day, Pat?
60.
Well, some things that never change. Our big winner so far is Phil Ivey. He's up $18,000.
Flipper than, you know, like real good at poker. Anyway.
Tom Dwan, down a few thousand already. Patrick Antonius is the most money at the table, but he bought in for 400.
than poker. Poker's, you know, hard work. I like, you know, those luck games. You just run good in them.
Ivey with the worst hand in poker. Well, it's almost like a handicap that he should have. The best player in the world with the worst hand in poker. And he raises it up.
Oh, I work harder than you do.
It's actually a re-raise of Tom Dwan's raise.
Got stuck and then tilted your way into playing like 70 hours a day.
Tom Dwan originally raised it up to 2,100 with 7-5 of clubs. Phil Ivey doesn't give his opponent credit for anything. He's going to re-raise him with 7 deuce. Obviously not playing his cards, he's playing his opponent. On top of that, he has position.
You're all the same.
9 king jack.
Nothing for either player, so I'd expect a bet here from Phil.
Check.
King, jack, 9, couple of hearts out there. Dwan checks.
When you start firing with the 7 deuce, you know that you're probably going to have to keep bluffing because you're not likely to have a showdownable hand.
11,000.
Now it's a question of whether Tom wants to have a replay.
Phil Ivey bets 11,000 into about a 15,000 chip pot, and that's going to be enough to take it down.
I'm going to bluff Phil one big hand today to make up for what he did to me the last year.
And Phil Ivey showing us all why he is one of the best in the world.
Back normal, Ivey's winning most of the pots.
Oh, why? You don't even need cards to win sometimes.
I can't get those flips though.
Action on Ivey.
Cool.
Jack 8 offsuit. Well, he's going to play.
Pass. Pass. Cool.
Cunningham going to complete from the small blinds. Tom Dwan taps the table, and we're going to see a flop 3 ways. 10, 10, 5. Couple of hearts out there. Well, nobody has anything, so whoever bets is going to take this one down, right?
And true to form, looks like Phil's reaching for his chips. Just betting 1,000. Pretty simple percentage play here. 2,500 in there. He figures more often than not I'll pick this up with 1,000 bet. Of course, these players all experienced and know that that's probably what Phil's doing.
Well, Tom Dwan not going to let him do it.
700.
He's going to raise this one up. Even the small pots, they don't go uncontested.
Cool.
Well, he's floating one here, Phil.
Yes, do not adjust your dial. The cards are correct. 4 clubs. Well, gives Dwan a little bit of a draw. He has a gut shot now. Now, he did check raise on the flop. Pot is 10,600. Can he bet one more time?
This is Tom Dwan. Of course he can bet one more time.
But Ivey's range is, I mean, it's ridiculously wide, isn't it?
It is very wide, but Tom also knows that Phil's quite likely to float one in this spot as well.
$7,300.
And he bet 7,300 into a $10,600 pot. And the red chips, those are $1,000 chips. The purples are 100. And the action is on Phil Ivey.
I wonder if Phil can float another one, or if he's... No, looks like he's reaching...
21.
21.
And he's raised this up.
Well, this is what confidence can do for you. Gets off to such a strong start, Phil. He's now making great plays.
Now, just a little while ago, Matusow said that there's no way Ivey's bluffing there. Is that why Ivey's bluffing here? To show everybody that he can bluff?
I think everyone in the world knows he can bluff, but I think he just knew his player in this spot. Beautiful play by Phil. Takes that one down without having to have the best hand.
Tom, every time you bet, they just raise you. Every time. How come?
Just read the situation perfectly and picks up a cool 10,000 that he just didn't look like was there for the taking.
I don't like the way they're treating you.
It's great play by Tom. More often than not, if you're playing against 99% of the players in the world, that kind of play will get through. But the 1%, that's Phil Ivey. He can read it and he can make the replay. Fantastic stuff. What that live straddle actually means is Mike's going to be the last person to act, and if anyone else wants to enter this particular hand, it's going to cost them at least 1,200. What it also does, it puts a lot more money out there for people to go and fight for, and that's brought Phil in with a pretty marginal 4-deuce offsuit in first position. And we definitely wouldn't have seen such a large pot or a large bet from him if the live straddle wasn't out there.
Matusow going to call out of position, heads up against Ivey with a hand like 5-4.
Well, just doesn't want to leave that 1,200 behind. He's caught a little bit of it. It's not an ideal flop for him, but he might see a turn, especially if it's cheap enough.
6,000.
No, I just remember from last year, Ivey seems to have Matusow's number.
Cool.
And I think Ivey's inside his head. I mean, to me, Ivey can win this pot. He can finagle to win this one.
Deuce. Check.
Well, both players have a little bit now. Matusow with a pair of 5s, Ivey with a pair of deuces.
Both of them with a 3 for a straight.
20.
And there you go. I think against other players, we saw earlier on, Phil Ivey only fired 1 bullet against Tom Dwan. Didn't think he can get Dwan to fold, but against Matusow, he knows he can get Matusow to fold. Kind of a marginal hand there.
Real.